The room was large and stifling, and though it was already 4 o'clock, opening the windows admitted only a gust of hot shrubbery from the park. Daisy went to the mirror and stood with her back to us, fixing her hair. "It's a swell suite," whispered Jordan respectfully. "Open another window," commanded Daisy without turning around. "There aren't any more." "Well, we better telephone for an axe." "The thing to do is forget about the heat," said Tom impatiently. "You make it 10 times worse by crabbing about it." "Let her alone, old sport," remarked Gatsby. "You're the one who wanted to come to town." "That's a great expression of yours, isn't it?" said Tom sharply. "What is?" "All this old sport business. Where'd you pick that up?" "Now see here, Tom," said Daisy, turning round from the mirror. "If you're going to make personal remarks, I won't stay here a minute." Gatsby's foot beat a short, restless tattoo, and Tom eyed him suddenly. "By the way, Mr. Gatsby, I understand you're an Oxford man." "Exactly." "Oh, yes, I understand you went to Oxford." "Yes, I went there." "I heard you, but I'd like to know when." "It was in 1919. I only stayed 5 months. That's why I can't really call myself an Oxford man." "It was an opportunity they gave to some of the officers after the armistice," he continued. "We could go to any university in England or France." "Open the whiskey, Tom," she ordered, "and then I'll make you a mint julep, so you won't seem so stupid to yourself." "Wait a minute," snapped Tom. "I want to ask Mr. Gatsby one more question." "Go on," Gatsby said politely. "What kind of row are you trying to cause in my house, anyhow?" This is a pivotal moment. For the first time, Tom is openly calling Gatsby out on his foul play. "He isn't causing a row. You're causing a row. Please have a little self-control." "Self-control?" repeated Tom incredulously. "I suppose the latest thing is to sit back and let Mr. Nobody from nowhere make love with your wife. Well, if that's the idea, you can count me out. Nowadays, people begin by sneering at family life and family institutions. Next, they'll throw everything overboard and have intermarriage between black and white." "I've got something to tell you, old sport," began Gatsby. But Daisy guessed his intonation. "Please don't," she interrupted helplessly. "Please, let's all go home. Why don't we all go home?" "That's a good idea." I got up. "Come on, Tom. Nobody wants a drink." "I want to know what Mr. Gatsby has to tell me." "Your wife doesn't love you," said Gatsby quietly. "She never loved you. She loves me." "Be crazy!" exclaimed Tom automatically. "She loved you. Do you hear?" he cried. "She only married you because I was poor and she was tired of waiting for me. It was a terrible mistake, but in her heart she never loved anyone except me." "What's been going on? I want to hear all about it." "I told you what's been going on," said Gatsby. "Going on for 5 years. And you didn't know." Tom turned to Daisy sharply. "You've been seeing this fellow for 5 years?" "Not seeing," said Gatsby. "No, we couldn't meet. But both of us loved each other all that time, old sport. And you didn't know. I used to laugh sometimes. To think that you didn't know." "You're crazy," Tom exploded. "I can't speak about what happened 5 years ago because I didn't know Daisy then. And I'd be damned to see how you got within a mile of her unless you brought groceries to the back door. But all the rest is a goddamn lie. Daisy loved me when she married me, and she loves me now." He walked over and stood beside her. "Daisy, that's all over now," he said earnestly. "It doesn't matter anymore. Just tell him the truth, that you never loved him, and it's all wiped out forever." "I never loved him," she said, with perceivable reluctance. "Not that day I carried you down from the punch bowl to keep your shoes dry?" There was a husky tenderness in Tom's tone. "Daisy." "Oh, you want too much," she cried to Gatsby. "I love you now. Isn't that enough? I can't help what's in the past." She began to sob helplessly. "I did love him once, but I love you too." "Loved me too?" Gatsby repeated. "Anyhow," Tom broke out. "I found out what your drugstores were. He and this Wolfsheim bought up street-side drugstores here in Chicago and sold grain alcohol over the counter. That's one of his little stunts. I picked him up for a bootlegger the first time I saw him and wasn't far wrong." He began to talk excitedly to Daisy, denying everything, defending his name against accusations that had not been made. But with every word she was drawing further and further into herself, so he gave that up. And only the dead dream fought on as the afternoon slipped away, trying to touch what was no longer tangible, struggling unhappily, undespairedly towards the lost voice across the room. "Please, Tom, I can't stand this anymore." "You two start on home, Daisy," said Tom, "in Mr. Gatsby's car. Go on, he won't annoy you. I think he realizes his presumptuous little flirtation is over."